Parichi A and B. These are easy and really great asanas with a lot of good modification to enhance the body flexibility and elasticity. Start in sitting position in Dandasana. Align well the hip joint, grounding with the sitting bones. Push the sacrum inside the body and bring the weight towards the leg. Bend the knee, bring the heel close to the buttock and see that you're pushing a little bit your navel and the rib cage into the femur. There is no place and there is stability between the femur and the inner ribs. Inhale, raise the hands above the head and exhale, slowly bend forward. Make a loop with your hands and interlace fingers behind your back. See the energy lines in the body. See that you reaching forward with the crown of the head, strengthening the spine, reaching forward with the sternum. With an inhale, come back slowly and exhale, release the position. As a modification, just to feel how much you need to align your hips and the legs, just bend the leg, interlace fingers above the knee, and just stay in this position for a few minutes and feel as your rib cage and abdomen, core muscles activating, pushing against the femur. You can raise your hands above and you can just feel the stability and the energy lines inside the body. Just be an observer. Observe what's happening in the body before going into the posture. The next modification you can do is you fall forward, you grabbing your shin or the outside edge of the feet, and after you make a loop, and if your hands doesn't meet, then you can use a belt. It doesn't matter if you use a belt or not. What's more important that you should feel inside what's going on. From outside the pose it's very static, but from inside there is really pushing and pulling different forces, opposing forces. For example, you ground well with your heel, you push your rib cage against your femur, you push your armpit against your calf muscles, and you stretch your spine as much as possible. Meanwhile, keeping the back of the legs very grounded. I show you a last variation, which is a core strengthening variation, where you keep your hands near the ears for 6-8 breaths, and that's how you fall forward. Now let's say Marichyasana B. Here the arrangement of the legs and the hips are the same, and for inhale you slowly raise the hands above, and after for exhale you twist from your navel, from the internal organs and lower spine, and bring your upper arm to the outer side of your knee. You're doing here a loop as well, interlacing the fingers and keeping the shoulder blades together as much as possible, and pushing the sternum towards the sky. Now let's see a modification if you are a beginner practitioner or a little bit stiff. Then what you can do, you can just do a normal twist without interlacing your finger. And the easiest version, if you bring your knee to the inside of the elbow. The more difficult version, if you bring your upper arm to the outside of your knee. Both versions, it's very efficient. You should keep it for a long time, while with the other hand you are grounding, and it's important the other hand is close to the sacrum so your spine can remain straight.